is and should be a touchdown. Here we go. Bryson Barnes has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's gone! Touchdown early! All right, everybody. Welcome to College Football Wraparound. I'm Cooper Naylor. As you can see, we're not at our traditional studio area. I'm just taking a break and just kind of sitting here in my little comfy area. So, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got two games that we're going to get into. We may also get into a little bit of Carson Beck, what my thoughts are there, and how I think Miami may do next season. Also, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them tonight. But, of course, don't forget, like and subscribe. I believe and I'm going to check, but we're at 99 subscribers. So what that means is that we need one more subscriber, and we'll hit 100 before February 1st. That's going to be big because we want to hit that 100 subscribers right here on Sarah Broadcast Network. So if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. We would greatly appreciate it if you do. Also, this is 13 straight days of posting at least a little something here on YouTube, which has been a goal. I mean, that's what we've been trying to do. So, of course, again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and help us out here on Sarah Broadcast Network. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this Penn State Notre Dame game. First off, what a game. This one, it was close the whole way. This was a really good football game. So, folks, this was a really fun game. Trust me, really fun game. Yeah, I want to take you through some of the stats and then give my opinion on what I thought I saw. First off, Riley Leonard went 15 to 23, 223 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on the night. His backup, Stephen Jelly, he came in 6 to 7, 44 yards. And then Jeremiah Love, if you look at the run game, Jeremiah Love had 11 carries, 45 yards on a touchdown. Riley Leonard, 18 carries, 35 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaden Thomas, 1 carry, 18 yards. Jadarian Price, 7 for 13. Not a whole lot on the ground like they did against Georgia, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Notre Dame's receiving core, Jaden Greathouse, 7 for 105 and a touchdown. Ananias Williams, 5 for 66. Mitchell Evans, 5 for 58. Jordan Faison, 2 for 25. So, first off, when you consider how Notre Dame likes to play, and I'm going to take a break for just a moment. All right, sorry guys. Either way, so when you look at Notre Dame, that's the stats for them. Penn State, Drew Aller, 12 of 23, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. All their touchdowns came from Nick Singleton on the ground. He had 15 carries, 84 yards with those 3 touchdowns. Katron Allen, 19 for 82. Tyler Warren, 6 for 75. Nick Singleton, 2 for 33. What can I say about this ball game? The score may have been 27-24 in the end, but I do feel like this was a defensive football game. And both Aller and Riley Leonard threw some interceptions, but I think there was a big point where Penn State was up 10-0 right before halftime, and there was a point where you're sitting there, you're like, wow, Penn State, they could run away with this. Well, Riley Leonard gets hurt. He has to go out in the first half. And you're really sitting there and you're like, okay, if Riley Leonard can't go, Penn State's about to go to the national championship. Well, I got to say this. When Stephen Jelly got in that game for Notre Dame, he helped really get this team where it needed to go. I think they got 3 points out of it. I think they were down like 10-3 at halftime. But you got a sense of, okay, there is something going on here. And we didn't know whether it was going to be Penn State was going to come out and just dominate the second half, or Notre Dame could come out and actually make something happen. Well, Notre Dame comes out and they take the lead. They score 17 unanswered points on Penn State. They are in the, between the end of the first half into the second half. And then it was a really competitive, it really gets competitive near the end. Penn State finds a way to take the lead back. I believe, if I'm not wrong, they get the lead 24-17. And the Notre Dame, I believe, they'll go down and score a touchdown. And then what's big? Aller, and this is what I've been saying. The biggest play of the game is going to be that Drew Aller interception that he threw. It was just a bad play. If you're Drew Aller, you can't make it. I mean, you can't throw that ball. He rolls to his left, turns around and throws it back across the field. It's intercepted. If you're Drew Aller, you can't make that throw. You can't throw that. Because if you're going to do that, you're just handing Notre Dame the football and you're handing them the game. And that's what happened. So my true thoughts is this. Notre Dame, I don't know if they were the better team, but they're the team that won. And quite frankly, when you're in the sport, you got to take the wins when you get them. And Notre Dame, they just made more plays, and they went and won the game. So I think it's just a matter of Notre Dame and Ohio State's going to be an interesting ball game. To be honest with you, it's going to be a very interesting ball game. But when you truly get down to it, Penn State had multiple opportunities to win this football game. They had plenty of opportunities to win this game. They blew it. Notre Dame, if you look at the first quarter, yeah, Notre Dame probably should have got beat pretty bad in this game. But I think what the true story is here, Notre Dame, if you look at the way they played against Georgia, it was very heavy on, we're going to run the football and win that way. Well, you couldn't do that against Penn State. Penn State's got a really good rush defense. And Notre Dame found a way to throw the ball and win the game. Jaden Greathouse, you really hadn't heard anything out of him in this playoff. Well, he went off in this game. 7 catches for 105 yards. It's incredible. So Notre Dame has found another way to win. They're going to Atlanta to face off against Ohio State, which should be just an interesting ball game in itself. So Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame was just found a way to win. I don't know if I'm going to say they're the better team, but they found a way to win that game. So credit to Notre Dame here. Then you got Texas and Ohio State. Okay. Notes from the beginning of this game. First half, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, this was probably the best defensive, as far as defense, this was a really good matchup. You had Ohio State, you got Texas, and Texas honestly held Ohio State to only 14 points at halftime, which I thought was crazy to think about. It was closer than what I thought it was going to be completely honest with you. I thought this was going to be Ohio State is going to take this game and run away with it, and Texas is never going to have a chance. Well, they had a chance near the end. It's 14-14 with 4 minutes left in the ball game. Quinn Ewers was looking to throw, and Jack Sawyer is there to just cause a fumble. He picks it up, runs it all the way back for a touchdown, 21-14. And so that was a big point in the game. And I'm going to say this. Texas had a lot of opportunities to win this football game. It's the play calling in the red zone. I know everybody said it, but it's true. The play calling in the red zone was not good. Texas, the way the play calling was, especially, I think they had like first and goal and they pitch it out to the left, and Ohio State's defense is incredible. And they stuff Jaden, I think it's Jaden Blue who was running. They stuff him. Okay? And just some of the play calling from Texas was not good. And so if I'm Texas, I'm sitting here and I'm mad. We had every opportunity in the world to win this game, and we didn't get it done. So, you want to look at some stats here. Will Howard, 24-33, 289, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception, I believe, came in the right at the beginning of the third quarter. He was looking across the middle, and I think there may have been some pressure on him or whatever. He threw it, intercepted. Texas got the ball. Now, I don't think any points came from that for Texas. And so it ended up not really hurting Ohio State. Now you look at the run game. Henderson, 6 for 42. Judkins, 9 for 36. But the receiving game, receivers, this is what was big. Okay? Carnell Tate, 7 for 87. Trevion Henderson, 1 for 75 and a touchdown. You look at Emeka Buka, 5 for 51. G. Scott, 5 for 30. Quinshawn Judkins, 3 for 22. Jeremiah Smith, 1 for 3 yards. Now, you're going to sit here and you're going to ask me, Cooper, you talk about how good Jeremiah Smith is, but he only had 1 reception. Well, here's the thing. Texas defense was really good this season. What their game plan was, we're going to lock down Jeremiah Smith, and Will Howard is going to have to beat us. He's got to find some other guy to beat us. Well, he did. He found Carnell Tate. Emeka Buka didn't have a great game. Carnell Tate stepped up and won the game, helped Will Howard in this ball game. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, here is my true assessment. The two teams that were able to put in the backups and find a way to win, they're the ones that's playing for the national championship. And quite frankly, it's not a shocker to see a team like Ohio State who, quite frankly, they go to Carnell Tate and find a way to win this ball game. Ohio State proved that they've got a great defense, but also whenever your top guys aren't clicking on all cylinders, you got other guys that can fill the void. Ohio State, that you got to give them all the credit in the world. They won this game. And so you want to look at Texas, their stats. Quinn Ewers, 23 of 39, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad. Quintrevion Wisner, 17 for 46. You got Jaden Blue, 4 for 16. Arch Manning, 1 for 8. And then you look at the receivers. Jaden Blue, 5 for 59 and 2 touchdowns. Matthew Golden, 2 for 51. Gunnar Helm, 2 for 42. Quintrevion Wisner, 6 for 42. DeAndre Moore, 4 for 31. So you look at Texas, it was a lot of throwing. And here's the question that I think a lot of people are going to ask. When you're down in the red zone, you got a chance to punch it in, tie the game, or either take the lead. And why not put Arch Manning in there and try to run it up the middle? That would have been interesting to see. Could Arch Manning had punched it in, get a score? I don't know. Possibly. But you didn't try. So that's the thing. If you're Texas, you missed out on a lot of opportunities that you could have had to win this ball game. So you got to give credit to Ohio State. They won the ball game. But Texas had every chance in the world to get a win. A game that I don't think a lot of people thought they could have won. Honestly, if you look back at this game, if some things go differently, Texas wins this ball game, they're playing the national championship game in Atlanta against Notre Dame. So this is interesting to see this dynamic shaping out right here, right now. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this national championship game goes, and I think you are too. So, right quick, let's talk about one last thing. And I've done 2 short videos in the past couple of days on this, but Carson Beck, he he transferred out of Georgia. He is going to Miami. So, what are my thoughts on this? Well, first off, and I'm getting my. There we go. But first off, Carson Beck. How do I put this? This season was a struggle for him. I think there is some issues as far as trying to find the right guy when it came time to throw the football. I think the offensive line was going to give him enough time to really make something happen. Ultimately, I think what happened here, and I mean it came out the past few days, he was butting heads with the whole Georgia front office staff and all that kind of thing. And what I mean about that is that he was a distraction, and it's because of his girlfriend. Which, I mean, you can't help you can't help it that he's dating a very popular TikTok star. But the thing is that it became a distraction to the team. I mean, the way he was driving around in Lamborghinis and the luxurious lifestyle and everything, I think it just was a distraction to the team. And quite frankly, the last straw, which I don't think the Georgia medical staff needs to be mad about this, but he was looking for other consultations about his elbow injury outside of the Georgia medical staff. That didn't sit well with the people there at Georgia. So you look at Carson Beck, he's transferred to Miami. That's where his girlfriend plays basketball. It's not a shocker here that he's going to Miami. I mean, literally, the moment he transferred, he was linked to Miami. Then a couple hours later, he's confirmed he's transferring to Miami. Now, if you're Miami, you look at the ACC, the way it's shaped, and depending on how things go, if you're Miami, you got to feel pretty confident about this right here, right now, because you lost Cam Ward. You get Carson Beck. The offense will not be better than what it was with Cam Ward, because Cam Ward is just a really good quarterback. But here's the thing. Your defense, which they went and got themselves a new defensive coordinator, there's a potential that although your offense may not be better, the team as a whole could end up being a better team. What does that mean? Well, you barely missed out on the college football playoff this year. I think they'll be there. I think they will be in the ACC championship game next season. They will win, whether they're playing Clemson or SMU or whoever they're playing. I think Miami will be a much better team. They'll win the ACC. And depending on how the buys and all that is situated, quite frankly, Miami may get a bye and play in a New Year's Day or New Year's Eve bowl game in the quarterfinal round of the college football playoff, depending on how the format is laid out. Because have to wait and see what kind of changes may come. So Carson Beck to Miami, I think it's a good move for him. It's a smart move. I think it makes sense. Now, if you want to flip the script a little bit, and if you want to look at Georgia right here, Georgia, and this is my opinion, I think Georgia will be fine. Gunnar Stockton, and here's what I'm going to say. If you go back and watch that Notre Dame game, you got a guy who came in against Texas and won the game, but this was his first start in the college football playoffs I'm not going to sit here and fault a guy by that unless he played completely awful. He didn't play awful. Quite frankly, I thought, considering that the way that this team, I mean, just some of the circumstances Georgia had going into the game, Gunnar Stockton played incredible football in my mind. They just had some things go against them that you just can't have. But Gunnar Stockton will be the starting quarterback for Georgia next season. And quite frankly, I think they'll be fine. They could actually be a better team next year. So I think that it's all actually Carson Beck going to Miami and Gunnar Stockton now being the starting quarterback at Georgia. Everything's going to work itself out. Both teams will be better. Both teams will be in the playoff again. And both teams are going to make it very, very interesting to see what they do within next season and the seasons to come. But with that all being said, folks, that is pretty much all we have here for today. Of course, like and subscribe to our channel. We need one more subscriber to get to 100. We plan on doing a 100 subscriber special. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. But folks, we want to thank you for watching here tonight, and we will be back later for more content. So keep an eye on us. If you subscribe, you'll get a notification. But with all that being said, thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Good night, everybody.